السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي واجعل لي وزيرا من أهلي هارون أخي اشدد به أزري ويشرك في أمري كي نسبحك كثيرا ونذكرك كثيرا إنك كنت بنا بصيرا. وصلى اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم. ربنا اغفر لنا وارحمنا وأنت خير الراحمين آمين والحمد لله رب العالمين آمين. So next week, before I forget, next week the time will change tomorrow. So we have to start at 10, but at the same time, but the clock will show not 11 but 10. Yeah, inshallah. Now that is done. You know where we left off? So, oh brothers and sisters, okay, inshallah we can read and talk about it.
So we are on page 17 of the reasoning, for us at least, and we are on the second paragraph. So, O brothers and sisters, consult these principles and then lay aside your soul, which cannot submit to the truth easily. Take off the garb of whims, suppositions, false assertions, and groundless objections that the present time and conditions have caused your mind to dawn. Enter the apparently limitless ocean of time from the coast of the present and land on the island of the age of happiness. The thing that will first attract your sight and attention is as follows. A single person, devoid of any help and formal authority, confronts and addresses the whole world. A single person devoid of any help and formal authority confronts and addresses the whole world. He carries on his shoulders a truth heavier than the earth and preaches an assembly of laws which guarantees the happiness of humanity in both worlds. That assembly of laws, which contains the essentials of all branches of both divine and human knowledge, has the capacity to develop in parallel with the development of human capacity over the course of time, yielding fruit in both the world and the hereafter. That assembly of laws which contains the essentials of all branches of both divine and human knowledge has the capacity to develop in parallel with the development of human capacity over the course of time, yielding fruit in both the world and the hereafter. It establishes such a system of justice that it contains all the principles of setting up and preserving the balance in both personal characteristics and in human, individual, and collective life. If you ask the principles of that assembly of law, the Sharia, where they come from and where they are heading for, they will answer, we come from the divine eternal speech and accompany humanity on its way towards eternity in order to secure its happiness. If you ask the principles of that assembly of law, the Sharia, where they come from and where they are heading for, they will answer, we come from the divine eternal speech and accompany humanity on its way towards eternity in order to secure its happiness. Even when humanity's connection with this world will be cut off, we continue to accompany it. we will continue to guide and satisfy it in the realm of the other world.
You think there are some points to discuss here? Any questions?
I feel that it's summarizing a lot of what we've discussed so far. I mean, it's in terms of a guide that will develop in capacity as the development of human capacity over time continues. Thought that was interesting in that it must be from a source that knows the development of both human capacity and what will satisfy that human capacity over the course of time.
In the first paragraph, did you find anything, any concept, any word that we have to be careful? We have to take into consideration seriously?
I mean, for me, one question I had was, what does it mean to lay aside my soul?
Lay aside
Yeah,
my soul.
which the text is claiming can't submit to the
Okay.
truth easily.
What did you understand from soul?
I mean, with the continuing sentences, it seemed like external influences that may affect my expectations and my ideas.
Such as, okay, what are they?
I mean, it said whims, suppositions, false assertions. So whatever society that I am living in, what it may project onto me as its values or as what is right or as what I should be expecting from that society.
Yeah.
And accordingly, then I may find it difficult to recognize that which is actually in accordance with my human disposition or my human expectations.
So here, your soul doesn't mean your spirit. The side of our humanity which takes side along with the whims, suppositions, false assertions, groundless objections, that the present time and conditions have caused your mind to dawn. Not in your nature, but present time and conditions have imposed on us. And without noticing, we have taken it up. Without noticing. That is important. This point is important because somebody may say, I am born in this culture, and in this culture, the values are these, so I cannot help but follow the values of the culture. How can I know which one is right, which one is wrong? I am innocent, yeah, maybe, but not questioning the values that we have inherited, we are getting from the influence of the society is the problem, not questioning them. And especially, what is important, especially if the culture has mixed up ingredients, mixed up with what? Yeah, from one end, the whims, suppositions coming from the culture. On the other hand, culture may include in it religious elements. That is confusing. What shall I do with it? Well, which is, for example, especially if you are following a certain tradition, let's say Muslim tradition, Islam. identifying yourself with Islam or Christianity. Of course, if the society, most of the population of the society follow this religion, but not as a result of investigating, not as a result of deciding that this is true, but as a result of inheritance from the society. So this information or ideas or values developed in the society may be mixed up with everything. Maybe materialist values, which is mostly based on materialist worldview, but alongside with it, every society, maybe with some exceptions, has some sort of religious ingredients in it. For example, in a geography where most of the people identify themselves with Islam, they may have some Islamic influence within their culture. If the society consists of majority of the people are Muslim, they may have some Muslim, the Islamic, Christian society, Christian values. So saying that confusing, how can I make the distinction even if I am aware of the difference? But mostly because of this veil of mixing up with religion, the most of the people, if they don't really question the truth with an open mind, take the whole values of the society, maybe thinking that it is the result of Christian culture, it is the result of Muslim culture, Islamic culture, or Islamic values, Christian values. That's how it is. If you are not careful and if you have not questioned about the legitimacy of the values, whatever you find in the society, it comes out together. Unless somebody is open-minded and ready to question the values themselves, how legitimate they are to be accepted. If we don't question the legitimacy of the culture we inherit from the society or from the previous generations, we will never notice that. We will never notice what is right in it, what is wrong in it. Sometimes it is so difficult to separate the truth, which is included in the religious values, and just secularist way of understanding of the world. It means secularized understanding of religion may be also mixed up with it. How can I make the distinction with only one? There is only one thing. We have to question the legitimacy of the culture we are inheriting. We have to be careful what is right in it, what is wrong in it. Under different names, some people say that is our religion. Some people say that is what we have inherited from our ancestors. So our ancestors followed this culture, and they were fine. If someone doesn't ask the question where the mistake is, if someone doesn't ask it, if there is a mistake, all the values are appropriate to my human nature. That's why we have to look at the essentials of the branches of both divine and human knowledge. I mean, essentials. We have to look at the essentials. For example, what is famous in the Muslim culture? To be respectful to visitors. Okay. Not Muslim culture. The population who identify themselves with Islam, most of the population in a society, does religion reject it? That religion doesn't really, even if we investigate religion, do you find any sign that religion is rejecting the idea or behavior towards the visitors, that we have to respect, we have to serve them the best that we have? We find that, for example, neither in Christian culture, nor in Islamic culture, nor in Jewish culture, major monotheistic religions. Yeah, the religion also encourages people to serve the visitors. What is puzzling now, if you question, why do I have to be respectful to the visitors according to the culture that I am inheriting, according to the values that I am inheriting? The essentials of this action may not be based on fundamental teachings of the religion, especially Islam. Essentials of this action, not the outward function of the action, essentials of the action. For example, someone may say, look, we are Muslims, we cannot really reject the visitors. We have to serve them. And also it is accompanied with human feeling, because human feelings also support this, that we have to serve the visitors. That is human, very human. But the reason why I am doing it, because there is no rejection from human side, the reason why I am doing it may turn into a humanitarian value. Do you understand? Is it a humanitarian one? It means, no, as we human beings, we have to serve and respect the visitor. That's humanitarian value. Not necessarily the essence of this value is based on the values of revelation, which serves us, the values of revelation serve us to okay, welcome. Yeah, the values of revelation serve us that whatever you do must be in order to perform your purpose of your life, to worship the Creator and acknowledge it. Acknowledge it is authority. Acknowledge the Creator's authority, God's authority, who owns the universe. It must be a means of acknowledgement of the authority, not necessarily the authority of the culture or the values of the society, which says we have to serve the visitors, we have to respect the visitors. Get it? The difference here? Or the outward action may be the same, but mostly if this civilization is not consciously based on worship of God, the purpose of human beings are, in fact, the purpose of human beings is nothing but acknowledging the Creator that created you here in order to make the process in this acknowledgement progress, acknowledging Him better and attaching your being, your existence, to him alone. How is it practiced? By acting everything with the consciousness of awareness that you are doing it because you are the worshiper of the owner of the universe. Not because it is your national identity. We Muslims are respectful to the visitors. We have to look at the essentials in it. Do we reject it? No. We have to develop ourselves. We have to develop ourselves, our understanding of the purpose of life, so that we have to, rather than rejecting, respecting the visitor, we have to perform it, do it with the consciousness of acknowledging the Creator, not because it is our national identity that Muslims help visitors. They are very kind to their visitors. And also they say it is also advised by our religion. Now, it is not practiced in order to perform the worship of the Creator. This needs consciousness, not, this doesn't need information. How to respect a visitor, what to offer him. These are outward forms. These are not important. Essential is why are you doing it? In order to satisfy what? In order, if it is in order to satisfy your worship of God, we have to train yourself. How can you turn this action into a worship of God? Then you are done. You are okay. You've done best. But it needs training. That's why belief system needs personal consciousness, not common consciousness. Values of the society needs common information to be transferred from generation to generation. That is, information is transferred, not consciousness. Consciousness is personal. That's why we have to work on it. Does it make sense? The difference, we have to notice. This example of serving and being respectful, kind to the visitor is one example. You can apply to everything. Everything. Michelle, what have we found in the society?
Can I? So just to kind of recap the main points at least, there is a certain action, and as far as I perceive it, it doesn't necessarily go against religious rulings, but at the same time, I find that it is in alignment with my human feelings and my human capacity.
Okay, yeah. That's why you don't question. You don't feel you don't feel to question its legitimacy. It's really correct. Yeah.
So with recognizing this, then I acknowledge that these feelings were given to me to act in a certain way, so that when I carry out these feelings and I feel good, it's not to satisfy myself, but rather to use this as an opportunity to acknowledge my position in that they're given to me, and that I acknowledge my creativeness in this instance, and In doing so, I also acknowledge my Creator.
It means, what is this acknowledgement of the Creator is? Acting in His name by acknowledging it, that your life belongs to Him, your sense of kindness belongs to Him, and you are just, by practicing, you are just appreciating His gift to you. That is why it needs consciousness. And consciousness is, we should never forget this, consciousness can only be developed through personal effort. Now, you cannot use consciousness of the community, if you like, or values of the community. Even these values may be legitimate. This is very important, that most of the people question what's wrong with culture. If the culture includes in it religious values, what's wrong with it? Why shouldn't I follow it? Because it is the result of the historical development of the practice of certain religion. In the case of Islam, Islam is practiced in this way among the Muslim societies. What are we looking at there? Practices. Even they are all correct, something is missing there. What is that? This is what we learned from the first paragraph. Now, it is so obvious that if you follow whims, suppositions, or unsupported criticisms, it is called here as false assertions. It means by certain political people with certain political tendencies, they compete. Our religion is better than yours, etc., and try to find the false and make it look false in the opposite religious values. That is somehow this with the false assertions is the assertions developed by certain people with their prejudice against certain religion. So whether it may be Islam, it may be Christianity, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. For example, maybe somebody says, I am a Muslim, and let me study and show what's wrong with Christianity, only what is wrong with Christianity. Only to compete, because my religion is better than theirs. Must be. So let me prove it. These attempts are just unsupported false assertions. Why? By everyone, actually, not only by Muslims or non-Muslims, by everyone. We have to be careful about it.
So one more thing.
Yeah, your summary, your recap. Have you finished with it?
Yeah.
No, so we have to have personal attempt. We have to have personal investigation, because receiving some certain values from the society is not your choice. You found yourself in it. But human consciousness requires investigation, first questioning, and then investigating the answer and giving the answer and finding it reasonable to accept and to confirm. And action is the same. It may be the same action. That is very confusing, actually, very difficult for everyone to make the distinction. I mean, most of the people say, now, Muslims respect visitors, yeah, so what's wrong with it? No, it's nothing wrong with it. But if you do it because we do it in this way, the Muslims do it in this way, pointless. What have you do? What are we expected to do here in these kind of circumstances? To investigate the principles behind it. Why do we do this? Yes, it is good, but why do I do this? For example, a person who has been born into a Muslim family and grown with this culture, and raised up with a Muslim family, and they accept everything inherited from their ancestors or from the society or the values of the society, and they are happy because I'm following my religion. But what needs individual satisfaction? Why? Whatever you are doing, why are you doing? Even, for example, you learn how to pray from your parents. As a Christian or as a Muslim, whatever, you learn how to do that. But it doesn't legitimize that you are doing it for right reason. You have to know, why are you doing this? What does this activity, this action represent for you? So that you will get human value, not as an element in the society. It is difficult to make the distinction because we say, what's wrong with praying? No, nothing wrong with praying, but it is lacking this essential. If we have not investigated, why should I pray? In ritual prayers. If you have not, why should I pray? If you have not, you have to do it. That is why it needs personal education, personal training, not communal training. Learning your religion from the society that you are born into. Because you are born into a certain society, it is not your choice. You learn something from your parents and from the society, from your environment. It's not your choice. Everybody will learn it. For example, whatever your native language is, let's say English, you learn it from your parents. Is it your choice? Can you be proud of your being able to speak English? No, I speak English, so I must deserve something. No, it is not your choice. Do you see the difference? That is why the consciousness is necessary to establish the main principles. What was the word is used here? Principles, yeah, the same word, principles. The principles in any religious activity is related to what? Your consciousness to God, and do it in the name of the absolute creator. Do you show where we are studying? Do you know where are we studying, reading from? Yeah. So I think the main principle that we have to remember all the time is belief. Belief is personal. You cannot inherit belief from the society. You can inherit the language from your parents. You can inherit the information about religion from your environment, from your society, but you cannot inherit belief from the society. You have to train yourself purposefully, and you cannot inherit belief accidentally either. Because as far as you are concerned, the society and the values of the society is not your choice. So there is no difference. There should be no difference between a person who was born into an atheist family and a person who was born into a Muslim family. There is no difference as far as the responsibility of the person is concerned. We have to question how legitimate it is. So we use this expression a lot, and by imitation of the language of certain hadith, which says, thank God that we are Muslims. They take it that we are born in a Muslim society. No. If you have gone through your personal investigation and concluded that I have to submit my existence to the creator of the universe consciously and act in his name while I am doing anything in this world, that is Muslim. Not the culture provides you Islamic values. That is information. And this information is not the result of your choice, your free will. This distinction must be made. Otherwise, we can't really feel the need for investigating the belief, studying the belief. What we say, I believe in God, because we are Muslims, we believe in God, and Muhammad was the prophet. And in our culture, the prophet is Muhammad. Why? And because everybody here says Muhammad is the prophet. Yeah? So Muhammad, what does prophet mean? The one who brought the message to us. Why? How do you know? No investigation. So do you think this understanding, I'm not saying belief, but information, this learning from the society has any value as far as functioning your human responsibility on earth? Now we have to be aware. We have to be aware of. Okay, then you can make the distinction between the values in the society, which are the results of whims and suppositions and false criticisms, and which are right. Then you can make the distinction comfortably. Because there is one side of humanity. They like to be proud of his being and his own qualities, because they own it. There's a tendency in human values. Do we notice that we are proud of our own qualities? I have a very sharp memory. Proud of that. For example, look at the language. What's wrong with this language? If you have a sharp memory, yes. And if you say, I have a very sharp memory, I'm proud. What's wrong with this? It's true. Anything wrong with this statement? Does it bother you? You are really, you have a really a good memory. Yes, see?
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't necessarily do anything, or I'm not the source of existence of that sharp memory. It just occurs to me. I don't necessarily do anything towards practicing it.
You have nothing to own. It is given to you. But rather than being, I am proud of my memory, yeah, I am pleased with my memory. Yeah.
I think when you're relating the smartness or the short memory, which is like I can give it. It's just like it's mine. But when it's a short memory, like I'm. So when I say it's like it's a short memory, I got a short memory. I like it. I remember the Quran. To me, it just like sounds like it's better than, and this is like it's belong to me. And in fact, it's not mine to begin with. Just like it's been given to me, and it says belong to me.
So you have to be not proud of your short memory, but use it as a means of acknowledging the giver of this memory and say, thank the Creator. I thank the Creator for my memory, and it is a means of acknowledging His gift to you, that what He has given to you, that turns out to be a means of worship of God, because consciousness is there. But if you say that I have studied, I became a very good specialist in one particular subject, and I am proud of it. I put my degree on my wall with in the framed form, and saying that, look, I am qualified for this. If someone hangs the degree on the wall, doesn't necessarily mean that he's appropriating this quality to himself, but at the same time, not going beyond it, not being aware of all these qualities are given to you by your Creator in order to get to know Him, which kind of Creator it is. He is the one who creates memory. Yet, since He the memory in me, what is the purpose? What shall I do with it? And use it in order to develop a profession. No, you can use it in order to develop a profession, but this is not the ultimate aim. The ultimate aim is to get to know the Creator of the memory and what is the purpose in creating the memory in my being. It must be something to do with getting to know Him. Everything is created in this world in order to teach us what? In order to teach us? Everything is created in this world to teach us what? How to live in this world, make your life more comfortable. These are secondary outcomes. But the main purpose of the creation is to acknowledge Him, get to know Him, so that you submit yourself to Him. But first, because of the purpose in the creation is just for the Creator to demonstrate His qualities and present His qualities to the conscious beings. For example, human beings. So the human beings get to know Him. Otherwise, to create this world and make it wonderful, if you don't use it to get to know Him, be aware of Him, and just to use it to be a good man, to be an honorable man in the society, because these are good values. Yeah, everybody accepts it. For example, who blames a person who is very kind to the visitors? Oh, he's a very bad man. Whoever comes to his house, he really treats them very well. Have you ever heard this sentence from anyone? He's a very bad man. No. For example, if a person is really a liar or, I don't know, thief, We all said this is a bad man because he's not stealing. He's stealing, sorry. He's a thief. These are very common values. That's what we have to be very careful about. While we are doing the action side of a religious teaching, the purpose is to acknowledge the Creator of this feeling, of these senses, Creator of these senses. So we have to change, if you like, direction of our relationship with the world and make it a means of becoming aware of the Creator. But if we don't educate ourselves how to improve my perception of the Creator, how can I associate my existence with Him if I am convinced that I am created? Yeah, if I'm not convinced that I am created, deliberately, consciously, on purpose, then we have to discuss something else. But if I am sure that, looked at myself, I cannot be accidental production, the production of an accident, it is impossible. So my material body has no quality to give my existence this result with their attempt in any ways. So they have no free will, anyway, knowledge or any concern. So I am deliberately created, and then you have to ask, yeah, I'm deliberately created. Yes, there must be a creator. Yes, these are not wrong. These are the beginning, only beginning. Now, there must be a creator, and I'm created. The second immediately following question is, sorry?
Creative or
Say it.
purpose of my creative.
Yeah. The purpose in my existence. Why did the Creator, whoever He is, created me? If I ask this question, then I start investigating. Why? Because what is the purpose in the existence of everything, including myself? Think about it. If we see that, if we don't investigate, question, the purpose in the existence of this universe is just to get to know the Creator. This was so simple. If you look at an art piece, anything in this world, you ask the question that what is the purpose in its existence? The one who made it is disclosing his ability to be acknowledged in this way. That's very human, isn't it? You do it, it came to my mind. People prepare nice food, and then very nice food. What they expect? What did they expect?
Thank you.
Sorry?
Gratitude.
Sorry?
Gratitude.
Gratitude to himself or
Right.
herself. Yeah. Because he manifested his quality in cooking, so he expects to be appreciated. Yeah. That is the sense that we are given. So we have to question why this sense is given to me. That if I do something good, I want to be appreciated. Why do I have this sense that I want to be appreciated? Why?
Be given to me to practice and my creator.
So it is given to you
Yes.
that so that you will conclude and you will feel the need to appreciate the creator of this talent. Thus, appreciate the creator. This sense is given to me. First, we exercise it in our own name. And then we have to stop and question. Why have I been given this sense? I like to be appreciated. Yes, it's very human. I like to be appreciated. But this feeling is given to me. Why is it given to me? Just to be appreciated? Or, so you have to apply this feeling in order to appreciate the one who has created your own feelings. We have to jump from self-oriented considerations to creator-oriented considerations. Always ask the question, I want this, I don't want this, why? What is the purpose in the existence of these feelings? This teaching, this teaching is the main purpose of the speech of the Creator. Belief aspect of it, belief training of the subject. Why, if I ask the question, why does God speak to me? Now, to teach me that I have to develop my abilities and be a good cook, be a good engineer, and be nice to your visitors, friends, to respect human beings, etc., etc. God speaks to me. I repeat this on many occasions. You don't have to have God to speak to you in order to teach you that you have to develop your skills, senses. You have to respect the visitors, and you shouldn't steal. You shouldn't steal. Do you think in the atheist society, people keep stealing? No. Even they do. People may have it as a profession, exceptionally, not all of them. So some of them, but still the majority, the great majority of the people, even the thieves themselves know that stealing is not right. But they justify it by using excuses. I don't need my Creator to teach me that I shouldn't steal.
I feel like sometimes giving me the ability to know it is bad, because I get when I do something, stealing, for example, if I take something that doesn't belong to me, I don't want anybody to know.
Yeah, that's obvious. So there is no need.
That feeling, no, I don't want anybody to know. When giving to me, that's bad behavior.
Stealing is bad. Stealing is bad.
Stealing.
Okay. Do you need God to teach you? It's already there in creation.
I have been given the tool to figure it out. I don't need Him to come and teach me. No.
Yeah. Correct. I agree. So why do I need, if you like, divine guidance, God's speech? Think about it. Who will answer? Come on here. What do I need? I know what is good, what is bad. Although I don't practice it, why do I need divine guidance? Come on, be brave, come on.
To figure out a way to secure my existence, to figure out a way in which I can secure you know, my need and my desires for happiness, for existential security, things that don't just satisfy my transient needs or my bodily needs, but things that transcend the needs that can be fulfilled within the conditions of this world.
Conditions of
This world.
Of this world. Related to thief, related to today's subject, came to my mind, being kind to visitors. Do I need any teaching from the Creator about this? No. But for example, the Torah and the Quran and other scriptures of these Far Eastern cultures, religions, Buddhist, Hindu, they say you shouldn't steal. Torah said you shouldn't steal, one of the fundamental teaching of Torah. Quran says you shouldn't steal. And if someone steals, punish him. Okay? I know it. I'm sorry, I don't need you, the Creator, to tell me. I know it. Why do you think the Creator tells me about this? This was the question. Your answer is a very general umbrella answer. Why do I need that the Creator that the Creator will tell me that stealing is wrong, so that it is in the scripture? Yeah.
Maybe to emphasize this.
Sorry.
To emphasize this that action.
Sorry. Makes sense.
To emphasize the significance of the action.
So I understand. They emphasize the or they don't understand it.
The
Significance
of the action.
What is the significance of this action, for example? Do you think, oh, this could start, let's continue.
That it brings pleasure, God.
Why? What do you need to make God happy? What do you think he needs some encouragement to be happy or something?
No.
Yeah, why do you do that?
Us.
Sorry?
The rewarding feeling.
The rewarding for what? Now, this is a very general Eastern culture. We have to make God pleased. Do you think God needs being pleased? No. So why do we keep this language, using this language? We have to consciously question it. What am I doing? Am I entertaining God there? Do you think the God is bored? Do you see what I mean? No, this language is very dangerous. Although it has a right usage within certain context, but not in this context. But people usually don't make distinction, so we just adopt the culture. So this is a very dangerous, if it is not used right, a very dangerous language. The people say God needs to be praised or entertained, or what are we doing? Now that no. Yeah, okay, you don't see it, but don't use the language there. All right? Now continue. Now, if it is not pleasing the God, making God happy, so nothing to do with it. You said it is for myself. Yes, that is the point. What does it mean for myself? For myself. Oh, where are you using it for yourself? That's a good point. Come on. Be brave. Carry on. What are you going to use it? Because in your creation, you know that stealing is wrong, right? Or killing a man unjustly is wrong. Okay. Why do you need God also to tell you for yourself that he must tell me to please myself? Excuse me, I know it. I know the killing wrong. Why do you tell me that? Now we have to go back to the question first. That this was the result of this question. What are we expecting from the speech of God to teach me? Now, yours is a very general answer. In this respect, what are we expecting from the Creator to teach me?
So, as was established, I don't need my Creator or anyone else to tell me that stealing is bad. I find that quality within myself.
Yes.
And I can, question the source of existence of that quality, what it, indicates towards or, gestures towards. At the same time, I have to then ask myself if, a command, if you will, is telling me not to steal. And I already know that stealing in the material sense or physical sense is something that I already know. I have to further investigate what it means in relation to my existence and my existential qualities or existential questions rather, and what I seek within my existence. And so I would say that if it says do not steal, then I must ask myself in which ways am I appropriating, am I stealing that which is not mine. And we were talking about just earlier about the quality of memory, of having a sharp memory. And within my own experience in my daily life, I can recognize that I appropriate onto myself many qualities that when I look into its source, I cannot claim to be the source of. And I can also, within this, I guess, framework of inquiry, realize that by appropriating it to myself, by taking the qualities that I observe in myself or in other people and connecting them or giving ownership of them to myself or to the people themselves, then I am in fact stealing the property, the creation, if you will, of something, and transferring its ownership to the recipient rather than the actual owner.
Transferring the ownership from.
I mean,
make it simple.
Let me make it more simple. Observing a quality and claiming the ownership of that quality to the person that it's given.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
It means say I am. I am not stealing.
Right.
So I am not contradicting myself, and I'm good.
Right.
Right. Does it have any value really, this attitude? Yes or no?
No.
No. Okay. What's wrong with it? No, I'm not stealing. I am a good person because I am not contradicting my feelings, because my feelings teach me that I shouldn't steal, and I'm not stealing it. What's wrong with it?
Because when I investigate the feelings themselves, I just find it in myself that I don't want to steal inherently. It's not I'm not the source of this feeling. And so if the feeling is directing me towards something, I can't claim ownership of it and say that it is because of me that I don't want to steal,
so
rather that the feeling is given.
Divine speech comes in and tells don't steal or be respectful to your visitors, right?
Right.
To respect your visitor is a better example. But you feel it anyways. If someone comes to you, to your house, definitely, what shall I do with them to make the visitor feel happy? That is from you.
Right.
Now, in every culture, I think, if you go to an atheist's house, if you go there, do you think this person does not respect you and insult you to visit him? No, you wouldn't do that. So this is very human, nothing to do with belief or non-belief. So divine speech comes and says, respect your visitors. Okay, and there's an interesting example through the example of Abraham. Prophet Abraham, that it is encouraged that the people should respect their visitors. Okay, or divine speech comes in and says, respect your visitors. Be generous to your visitors. Okay, in the example that the Quran gives. So why do I need that? I have already the feeling.
Mm-hmm. So I would again understand that as if this divine speech, first of all, it has to offer me guidance that I cannot extract or find anywhere else.
Yeah, that's a good point. Let's stay there.
Mm-hmm.
Divine speech is needed in order to get guidance and teaching for something that I cannot find out within this universe and within myself.
Right.
No, but respect your visitor is within me, I find out.
Mm-hmm.
So why do you think that the divine speech tells me
Mm-hmm.
to do this?
Well, the divine speech also has to be a confirmation of my experience within this existence.
About that, okay, confirmation.
Right.
Well, what is the confirming? I know it.
So
I know.
it's telling me that, hey, you know, be respectful to guests that come to you. I look into myself and I say, hey, I already have this feeling. So it's to me indicating towards me, emphasizing towards me, hey, you have this feeling, but what is the source of existence of this feeling? What is it, you know, acting as a signpost towards? And I guess kind of nudging me towards questioning and investigating the feeling itself so that I may become more acquainted with its source.
Its creator.
Right.
So, for example, there are two ways, aren't they? If someone has not received the divine speech, he will respect and be generous to his visitors, but not receive the divine speech at all, and has not been taught about it. He will say, that's who I am, and I am doing it as I feel appropriate, and I'm not contradicting myself. I am a very good human being. Now, divine speech says, I am reminding you that this quality is given to you by me in order to know who I am. Divine speech introduced the aspect of the action, aspect of the creation, which looks to its creator. That's what we need. If there was no divine speech, we would be just good human beings if we don't contradict ourselves. But die as a good human being without fulfilling any purpose of your existence. Now, your general statement made before, the purpose of existence is here in this world, is a temporary world. Use the facilities, opportunities in this world in order to know the source of it and get to know who the source of it is and attribute yourself, your existence to this source so that you will feel completely secure in your existence. For example, I am a guest of the Creator in this world because I didn't choose to come here. Somebody brought me here, right? Something brought me here and presented the universe to me, presented the world to me, and being very generous to me, creating endless things that I need. Yeah, I need this amount of air, and the atmosphere is 1 trillion times more than what I need. Generous. What is the purpose? So that I will feel secure in telling me what is the purpose, in telling me that be generous to visitors. I will be generous to my visitors. To you. You are here just my guest, as my guest. I brought you here. So everything you need will be provided by me in order to get to know who I am. That is belief.
That is what is required from the Creator to teach me. That's if there was no divine speech, we will at best be good human beings. And that's it. I is a good human being with no purpose in my life, fulfilled until I die. Do you understand the difference? It is very crucial. That's why we need divine speech in order to aspect of the events, in order to aspect of the creation or actions in the world, which looks to the Creator. It means teaches the Creator, helps me to get to know who my Creator is. Helps me to get to know who my Creator is. Do you get this point? Everything. If you have a sense that I should not steal, well, my Creator doesn't steal. If I have something good, He wouldn't steal it. He will just give the right reward for it. And also, I shouldn't not only steal the property of other people, I should not steal the property of the Creator. Right? Because it is the aspect of the stealing event which points to the Creator, says, hey, not only steal the property of people, if you do it in this world, you will be punished within this world. But if you steal God's property and appropriate it to yourself, this is my brain, this is my memory, this is my sense, this is my human qualities, mine, and the universe has this and this and these qualities, belongs to them, and my qualities belongs to me. What the naturalist, materialist people say, all the qualities of the universe belongs to the matter itself. So our being, even humans, belongs to the development of the matter itself, in this way or another way, by itself. So isn't that a way of stealing God's property? Yeah, it's a very fundamental way of stealing God's property. That is why we need divine interference, the Creator's interference, to teach us the aspect of the events, creation, which by ourselves we cannot know. Because if there was no message from the prophets, we would never think that this sense of being kind to the, or generous to the visitors, is in order to know my Creator and feel secure in my existence. Impossible. If there was no message, how would you know? Everyone will say, yeah, this sense is given to you to be generous to your visitors, to be kind to your neighbors. Right? That's why, for example, in the Christian rhetoric, you see discourse, not rhetoric, really. The Christian discourse, you see that, be kind to your neighbor. For what? To be kind to my neighbor. Why? It is with me that if I'm kind to my neighbor, my life is more comfortable. I don't feel guilty. Yeah. Why do you tell me that? It becomes pointless. Why? I expect God to tell me, the Creator. So the human questions are not concerning whether I should be respectful to visitors. It is there. You don't question it. Should I kill innocent people? I don't know. I shouldn't. They are not human questions. Do you understand? They are not human questions. The animals also don't harm each other. You don't have to be a human to question whether I should kill other people or not. Yeah? But what do we question as a human beings, conscious human beings? Yeah, I have this sense of not killing the innocent people. Why is it there? Where did I get it? How did it develop? How did it evolve? Through material means. How did it? What is the purpose? In my having this feeling that I shouldn't kill human beings. The materialist people say, in order to have peaceful worldly life in the society. Okay, I have a peaceful worldly life in the society and die. What is the purpose? Yeah, I was, lived, not I was, I lived in a society. There was no dispute, not dispute, no conflict, no fight. We were all peaceful. So I died in a peaceful society. What is the purpose? I died, I'm finished. And human expectation is what? Eternal happiness. How can I use it? Really, human beings need guidance from their creator to teach the aspect of the events that they can themselves not find out. Do you understand? It's summary length sentence. That's why the scripture is needed. That's why the message is needed from the creator, and that's why we need the messenger. I think the purpose in here, in the text we are we read today, is teaching to this essentials, the principles. For example, in the text, in this the last paragraph that we read today, look at the sentence here. That assembly of laws, principles, yeah. In the teachings, it means in the teachings of the message that the prophets bring to us from God. Yeah, it means God's interference into our life, divine guidance, which contains the essentials of all branches of both divine and human knowledge. Essentials. What is the essentials? Did you get it? Where is it? Did you find it? Page 17, right? Page 17, last paragraph, the middle of the paragraph, that assembly of laws, fourth line. That we be together inside. Did you get it? Is everybody? Did you find? How about you? Yeah, found it. Yeah, are you happy? Now, that assembly of laws, which contains the essentials of all branches of both divine and human knowledge, has the capacity to develop in parallel with the development of human capacity over the course of time, yielding fruit in both this world and the hereafter. Yeah, of course, we don't expect the Creator to teach me that don't respect your visitors. Yeah, and make it peaceful society. Yeah, this is world side. But I don't really need the divine guidance about this. What I need, the divine guidance, which aspect, why are they there? What should I do with them? Since this world is transient. Yeah, whether you are living in a troubled society or a peaceful society. Yes, it is good that you have a peaceful society, and it's good. All right, I understand. But is it the purpose to live in the peaceful society and to live and die in the peaceful society and perish away? Is it the point? Can't be. And if there was no message brought to us through the messengers from the Creator, we would never think of the other side of it. That's why those people, philosophers, or so-called scientists now, scientists are making lots of philosophy nowadays. That's why we have to include them, not about their physical studies or the studies of the physical side of the matter, but their interpretation of this physical side of the matter is nothing but a philosophy again. If anyone has not paid serious attention to the divine speech, divine guidance, they cannot tell you at all, impossible, that we are here to have the security of existing forever because we want it. How can it be possible? They say, no, you can have a nice society, you have a peaceful society, you will have a happy life if everything, if you do everything according to your human nature, you will have a happy life and you will die and become compost happily. They don't say the last word, but the result of it is this. You will be a rotten food for the insects in the earth, from the rats and snakes and whatever will eat you. Yeah, because you die peacefully. Yeah. Yeah. That's what the comedy is. I used to live next to a cemetery, and I used to go there because it's a quiet place, very big cemetery, green, fresh air. I love it, and I see the gravestones. Die peacefully. It's rotten. How can you say die peacefully? And 6 months later, 8 years later, you dig up the grave, you find what? Rotten, left some bones. That's it. Peacefully is lying. Peacefully becoming the food for the insects. That's what the humanism is seeking, teaching. If anybody doesn't get the instruction from the divine speech, he has to end up with a satisfaction within this world, not as a human being, as an animal being. As a human being needs essentially what? Eternal happiness. Eternal happiness. Eternal security. And nothing can give you. That's why we have to seek for the divine guidance, creator. We have to ask the question, when you ask the question, what am I going to do with it in the transient world? Eat nice food, eat nice food, eat nice food, get hungry, eat again, happy life. Yeah, everything is nice, and die. We have to ask the question, what can be the purpose in this kind of existence? We have to ask this question. And you will find out that there is no answer in the material world. You say that I have to be nice, I have to take care of my body, I have to satisfy my pleasure, taste. Yeah, okay, for what? For what? And then you definitely start feeling that there must be something beyond this, because this is a transient world. Whatever I do, but I am the richest man. Think about the richest man. He died and became a compost and food for the insects, worms. But he was a rich man, very honorable man, the king or whatever. But what do you think it's honorable? I don't know. The kings are the most horrible people to me. But they are really terrorists to me. Terrorizing people in order to impose themselves, whatever. But maybe the most famous man in the world, everybody was respecting him. After he dies, everything becomes zero, meaningless. Then we have to struggle. What is the point in being in this world? Which is also double strange. I didn't want to come here. It wasn't my wish or my will. Did you come here because you wanted to be here in the world, born in this world? No, Somebody brought me here, strangely enough, the same thing, whatever it is, taking me away from this world and giving an end to my human qualities. Is he playing with me? What does it mean? What is it? Who is it? What is it? When you ask the question, you definitely feel that, oh, Creator, you must tell me, why did you do this? Matter cannot tell me. Matter just says, satisfy your appetite and die. You must tell me, what is the reason? If someone says nature created me, okay, ask nature, who are you? I don't know, but you must tell me, why did you make me? Yeah, but I'm looking for reason of existence. That's the quality within me. You gave me this quality to question. I think it is not easy to practice this, but it is easy to understand the need of questioning. It's very easy. Need of questioning. When you question it, definitely you feel the need for an answer. And in the material world, in this world, there is no answer. There is no source of answer in this world. But the philosophers say, we are going to explain you why you exist here, to entertain yourself, to enjoy your life. That's why you have to share whatever you have with others. It helps your happiness. Yeah, even some philosophers, some people may know, say, if you feel that it gives you comfort by believing in a religion, go ahead, believe in it, believe in the religion because it gives you comfort. That's the purpose of the life, to be comfortable in this life. Not necessarily that I have to prepare myself for the eternal life. It is very important, actually. Otherwise, we cannot make sense of somebody says, I am a prophet. Somebody says, I brought message from God. What? You brought message from God? What are you doing? Are you crazy? Yeah? What do you mean by God message? Where is God? Even it is, he speaks to you and gives the message and you spread it to the people. But if we ask this question, there must be a purpose, there must be a purpose. Then what you end up with, realizing that the need for the eternal expectation of human beings is not met within this universe. Impossible. So why do I have these feelings? You ask this question, you say, whoever made me must answer this question because he enabled me to ask the question. So there must be an answer. So you say that the word universe doesn't provide the answer for you. You have to say there must be something. If someone says, hey, the creator is a creator, conscious creator who created you on purpose to fulfill some things in your life, he gave me the guidance. Is it really? Maybe. It must be, because there must be a divine guidance. The guidance from my creator. That's called divine guidance. Not from the universe, which is not from the universe, is called divine. That's why we use the divine, the word divine, to this meaning. Not within the universe is divine. So I need divine guidance. And then where is true? Let me listen to it. So I listen to man, and not because he claimed that he received it from God, to see whether it is worth listening to him. And it helps me to answer my questions concerning the purpose in my existence. The text says only the message that we hear through the messengers, if you question them, not everybody says, I am a messenger, we have to accept because we have to question. which fits my expectations, human expectations. Fits my human expectations. This guidance is from my Creator. Right? Okay. I think if it is okay, this explanation is satisfactory, we establish one thing which is very essential today. Very essential. Simple to understand, but difficult to practice because we are immersed in following the values of the society and taking our situations as Muslims, as Christians, as whatever, Buddhists, for granted. If we take it for granted, we can never, ever realize that you are following something right or wrong, but everybody says, this is my culture, and they don't advise me anything bad. Yeah, okay, I feel okay as far as my worldly life is concerned. Be kind to your neighbor. Love your enemy. Yeah, if you can manage it, it's beautiful to love your enemy. Why? I know that. If I can manage it, if I overcome my anger, it is beautiful to love your enemy. Why? What am I going to do with this? Yep. So what is needed now? Ask the question as far as your Creator. Why did He create you with this sense? And you understand under the instruction of the teaching of the Prophet that you are created with these qualities on purpose. So it seems to be very simple, but understanding is very simple. I am satisfied with the understanding. But reminding myself not to follow the inherited religious values as inherited values, but legitimizing it by understanding why it is true. Why do I need them? What am I going to fulfill with these good qualities in the inherited values of the society? Yeah.
And you should love your enemy.
Yeah. That's correct. That's correct. You shouldn't really oppose anyone because he opposed you. You have to look for the justice. Is it right or wrong? Yeah. So if it is wrong, try to solve it. Try to solve the problem, not by responding enmity with enmity. Right? Responding enmity with the respect of humanity. This is a human being. He doesn't have the right reason. That's why he is behaving towards you in an enmity, sense of enmity, in animosity. Animosity. Yeah. Why is he doing that? Because he misunderstood something. So I must help him. So if you don't love your enemy, how can you help him? How can you think of helping him? Right? So the best example we see in the life of the Prophet, very simple, somebody was throwing something thorny in his way. He used to go to the masjid early morning. It was really light when it is dark, so he should be injured. And what the Prophet did to him, he found out that, oh, there's no thorny things nowadays. What happened? Went to his house and knocked at the door and said, how are you? Are you doing well? Something. You see what I mean? If he didn't love his enemy, for example, when he started introducing the message he received from God to the people, who was his friend in the society where he was? Who was it? His wife was trusting him. He said, no, no, no. Not because she understood the content of the messages right. He knew that this man cannot tell a lie because she was his wife. Cannot tell a lie. She is an honest man, considerate man, always thinking, reflecting the purpose of life, never thinking of any worldly benefit. That's why he used to go to the cave to reflect. What is the point in existing? Yeah? Not because something was going wrong in Meccan society, he wanted to solve it. No one could listen to him. He was an orphan, he was a shepherd, he was the poorest man. No one would listen to him with the values that that society has. Do you understand? So he was really reflecting the purpose of existence must be. The answer came accordingly, and not because Khadija at the first, later on we don't know, there is no narration. And she understood the messages from God. She said, he's an honest man. Whatever he says must be true. He cannot make up the story. He cannot tell a lie. So he said, please be sure of yourself, she said to him, to the prophet, Muhammad. That time he didn't know he was a prophet. Please, God does not mischief you. Right? Please make sure. You must be a good man, so something good from God. Make sure. Do you understand this? This is not really told in this way that I'm telling. That's not what you heard, I'm sure. That is the prevalent culture. So no one else accepted it. Everybody opposed it. Not everybody did. These are nobles of that so-called nobles of the society opposed him. They were his enemies. How he could bear with them and convey the message to them, at the end they accepted the message. How could they do it? If he was responding enmity with enmity, he will just go against their expectations rather than being helpful to them. Do you get it? So that is human. That is why God says with this sense that even you are enemy of me, I am a friend of you. I am still giving you what you need in this world. Do you think the atheists are not getting any food? Any pleasure? The worldly pleasure. And trying to teach them until death comes to them, the last day. He is generous. He is a generous creator. He is a generous provider. He loves his creation and gives the opportunity to his enemies. Look, God gives the opportunity to his enemies to acknowledge he is a generous provider, creator. You see, God says, if you hate me, I will still love you. With this sense of loving your enemy. Even if you hate me, even if you are enemy of me, yeah, which is in the Quran, Aduwullah, which is called, it's a very famous phrase in the Quran, enemy of God. You are an enemy of God, but still you receive water, you receive food, you receive air, you receive life, you receive all the qualities functioning perfectly according to your life conditions as it is created. Do you understand? He says, look, even if you are enemy of me, I am not your enemy. I am the one who loves you and provides you everything you want, giving you the opportunity to get to know me. But even if you insist that you are not going to benefit from my way of teaching you, or reflecting myself to you, demonstrating my abilities to you, even if you are not going to do it. Yeah. But at the end, okay, you lose from the happiness of having eternal expectation of eternal pleasure in your life, eternal happiness in your life. You will be only restricted to this life conditions, but your human feelings will suffer from the lack of satisfaction, happiness. Because human beings will say, the world is nice, existence is nice, but I will say they will never get satisfaction as human. But that is their choice. Although God is very generous to them, that's their choice. God says you are free. But I will provide everything to you. Do you understand the difference? So it is beautiful. Divine speech gives the aspect that we cannot find in this universe. That is the final word. We need it because human expectations look for the eternal side of the existence because we need eternal happiness. Do you get it? Is it clear? So we can stop here. So, inshallah, we can start from the next page next Saturday, but next Saturday will be at 10 o'clock because the time will change. Yeah, but the time is the same, but the clock will say 10 rather than 11. The clock, this is the lie of the clock, not us. So you can keep this paper if you like. There are extra ones, and I will bring the rest of the pages next week, next Saturday. You can keep it, or you help yourself with this.
There's more there.
And what for this?